on. I'll be back with you again with scores around.
And Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago. Here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both team their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys here in Week 13. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. First carry for Spencer Ware. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the rush. Far run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. Roberts got it. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
A first down throw for Brissett. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a pass hauled in downfield, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
From the red zone now, Brissett to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one.
Now he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Paris Campbell, his Touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
Running on first down with Ware. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. Throwing on second and 14. Carr under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Darius Leonard able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. On third down, this is Ware. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
We're set on first down. And the catch made by Hilton. The numbers from last week for Hilton. 5 catches, 121 yards, and a touchdown. Throwing again on second down. Brissett, catch made here by Campbell.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
From the gun, here's Brissett. Campbell making the catch. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to it. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least for the Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Jeffrey Simmons in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Carr now to throw. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here First and 10. So first and 10 now from the 30. To throw, Brissett. Throw left side here, complete to Campbell. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. So here's a first and 10 now in Raider territory at the 41. Brissett. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell doing it again with his third touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. So naturally they will decline it. They got the first down anyway on the play.
Who needs a penalty when you picked up the first down through hard work and effort anyway? First down.
They run the counter. Where? And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Second quarter from Oakland, the homestanding Raiders with the football here as they've got it 2nd and 7. Second quarter from Oakland, the homestanding Raiders with the football here as they've got it 2nd and 7. They run it here. Where? And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down at the Colts' 13-yard line. On play action. Now Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Justin Houston. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was a nice score.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Look, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Tease Tabor. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. On 2nd and 9, Carr, rush coming, and he's taken down. Jeffrey Simmons in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Now Carr. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He does have the one interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1
every single time.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again. He's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
And they'll get this down to the 10. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Here's Brissett to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, but it's going to be second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Into the air once more. It's Brissett toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides.
Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Crayvon LeBlanc with a pick. He's got daylight. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Anthony Miller, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the game.
And the Raiders have got him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Brissett. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Ware. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw his Carr. He's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. They find some open field here. And this one will be brought back to the 22. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Spencer Ware, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Again, it's Bissell. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Deebo Samuel with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. There's Anthony Miller as they trot back out to go on offense. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Here's Carr to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Shotgun now for Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Another try after the first down sack. Carr. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On third and long, it's Carr. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Here's Matt Weil now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, Brissett. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
Let's go, baby.
Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 yards there, 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This will be fielded at the 8.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man of the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn and...
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Deebo Samuel, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes...
And the pressure gets to him again. Jeffrey Simmons, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Mack Wilson in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally. Now Brissett. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Brissett to throw on 1st. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Deebo Samuel, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They go play action here on 1st down. Mack Wilson, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Carr, and brought in by the tight end Cook. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of the team that has it figured out in this ballgame. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing, Brissett. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. Brissett now. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Deebo Samuel with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
A little bit of space there for the first down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. And on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan. They run again with Ware. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That second down play nets a -4. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now Carr, and now the ball's out. Carr lost it, fumble, and the Colts pick it up. And to the 43, so down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
That one goes for 24 yards. Here's Bissett. And he's got it. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down. And they're going to speed things up here. From the gun, here's Bissett. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Deebo Samuel with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Shaun Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Colts take advantage of the turnover to put up 6. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Spencer Ware and the rest of his offense retaking the field. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him, maybe the guys up front, combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe...
And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And it'll bring up third down. To Ware on the draw. Room here to run. There he goes, left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Spencer Ware. 81 yards. And the Raiders able to get this back to within at least some measure here of respectability. Hauschka with the extra point. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's finished off by a Spencer Ware touchdown run. This one taken from the 7. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Brissett. Open man is Samuel, complete. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Back now in the East Bay. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Let's get off the field, D.
On third down, Brissett completes it to Samuel. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. The carry here for the big tight end. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the offense will hold on to this one right at the 5-yard line. Lucky there. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Marlon Mack, touchdown number 18 on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. Roberts got it. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st? So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Carr. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Ware. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And this is Cook with the ground. And he's not going to get the 1st down. He had to get to the 30, but he's a yard or 2 short. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You throw the ball to someone, they catch it, And then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Check 53, Mike. I got you.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
53.
They run again with Hines. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Marlon Mack with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point right down the middle.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is
But
one of our
she's
guys.
singing too.
Oh, she's singing.
She's on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
58 to Mike. 58 to Mike. Drop deep.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Carr, they'll find Miller. That's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Carr now on first down. He's got this to his running back, Spencer Ware. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Carr again, and he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Throwing on 3rd and long. Carr, he completes this into the hands of Miller. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. To throw, it's Carr. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Mack Wilson in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Mack Wilson, and that will force a turnover on downs. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Brissett. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 25 yards that time. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Here's Brissett. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake.
Brissett's pass complete to Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided? Under pressure, and they got to him again. Darius Leonard, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Only 2 there on the dump off. It's 3rd down.
Young Trent is here.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't.